The date is Friday, November 3rd. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Figure Four podcast. My name is Doug. This evening, we're going over the big pay-per-view tomorrow, Crown Jewel. Dahl and I give our rundown on the entire pay-per-view, and we talk about a little bit of CM Punk. What's going on with him? Is he coming back? Is he not? Is it all rumor and innuendo, or is it fiction? You guys decide. Enjoy the episode, folks. So the matches we're going to go through for the pay-per-view. That's on at like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock my time or something. I'll be up early anyway. I'm smoking a brisket tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
So what's the first one you got on there that you want to talk about? Anyone you want. Doesn't have to be in any order.
Well, I'm going to save this one for the last. The first one that I've got, and this one is kind of like I can see this one changing hands. I've got Seth versus Priest. I don't want to say that
Priest.
Yeah, or not.
McIntyre.
Seth versus McIntyre. Yeah, true. Part of me wants to say that yes, the title's going to change hands, but at the same time, I'm like, he's been a fighting champion. He's on a good roll, but at the same time, I'm like, I can kind of see it happening.
Yeah, I don't know where to go with that either. I do want to see McIntyre take that title because I like this edge he's got now where I don't care about anyone. Fuck him. But At the same time, I don't know if they're done with the whole Seth thing. I think it's kind of run its course with him as champion, I think. But it'd be interesting to see if Drew wins that world championship. I could see Damian Priest coming down with that Money in the Bank briefcase because he's not going to cash that in on Roman Reigns. Damian Priest is nowhere near Roman Reigns' level. So the best he's going to do is like an Intercontinental title, US title, or that World Heavyweight Championship, which is, let's face it, it's a secondary title. I think it's a notch above the Intercontinental title right now. But Butch Gunther is actually made pretty relevant again, and that's pretty cool. But yeah, I don't know where to go with it. My gut is telling me Drew is going to win. Now, whether or not Priest cashes in, I don't know, but I think Seth finally loses tomorrow.
I won't be surprised. Not at all. And it's funny that you mentioned that that Priest cashes in because, like, Tara and I were talking about that last night, and it's like, yeah, he's due. I don't see him winning a title straight up, like one-on-one. He's going to win a title whenever he cashes in on the briefcase. So, the next one that I've got Ray versus Logan Paul. What do you think about that?
I think Logan Paul's going to win. And I'll tell you why. I think Ray has been a holder for that title for a little while, which kind of surprises me because, correct me if I'm wrong, but did he beat Austin Theory for that US title?
He did.
He did. So what I can see them doing is putting the title on Logan Paul just to give him some bragging rights. And with them doing that, he'll show up for a month or whatever, a few weeks, and he'll parade around with the US title because he doesn't have the schedule to be a full-time wrestler.
Yep.
I think he'll hold it for a couple of weeks, a month, maybe into the next pay-per-view or maybe a Monday Night Raw, who knows. And I think he's going to drop that title to Ricochet. I think they've just been kind of maybe because him and Ricochet kind of still have that little beef going on, right? So that's what I think. I think Logan Paul goes over tomorrow. He wins the US title. And then in a couple of weeks or a month, it could be Monday night. You never know. I think he drops that US title. I think he drops it to Ricochet.
Okay. Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned that because, I mean, he's a part-timer.
Yeah.
And like going back a couple of months ago, and we've talked about this. Triple H wanted to get away from the part timers in terms of like championships and stuff like that, but I can see that sort of being the case. I don't see where Ray has any heat with anyone else
No.
unless they want to revive like Ray versus Dom,
Oh God,
which
no.
that's run its course.
Yeah, big time.
Let's that's just done. Um, I don't know where they're coming from with the Ray versus Logan Paul heat, but I mean it's going to be interesting to see.
It's going to be
I
good.
think it's
Like
going to be
it. I don't. They're not going to like collide in midair like Ricochet and Logan Paul did, but
no.
it's going to be an okay match. I think Logan Paul will dominate for most of it. That's what I think. I think Ray's going to give him 7 good minutes anyway, and
At least.
because I think Ray is like, I mean, he's already a Hall of Famer. He can still go a little bit, but he can't do a full-time schedule. He can't defend that title all the time. That's why I
No.
think, and Logan Paul's not a full-timer. So that's why I like I said, I think he's going to win. And then within the next month ish, I think he's going to drop the title. They'll probably give him a little bit of time to take that title around and parade it around like at his brother's boxing events or whatever, right? And then,
Right.
but eventually, I think he's going to drop it to Ricochet. And you know what? Ricochet deserves a belt. He's paid his due. He's not my
I
cup of
think
tea. I'm not a huge like high flyer fan or whatever. I'm more of a mat wrestler, but he deserves it. He's a journeyman. He's put in his time.
he's put it he's definitely put in his time. Um, the next one that I've got here, Bianca versus Io Sky. What do you think about that?
I honestly don't know where this could go. Bianca is kind of they've kind of like repackaged her, kind of, not
Hmm.
really. She's kind of been out of the spotlight for a little bit. Um, I think Io. I'm actually surprised she hasn't left Bailey yet. Like, like how
Hmm.
they're still together. That really surprises me. Um,
Right.
I don't know. I want to say Io is going to retain. Um, because if she doesn't, taking the title off of Bianca in the first place was a waste of time. Just to give
Right.
her like some time off or like whatever. I think Bianca needs a little bit of time to get her feet wet again and get back in the limelight and back in that championship. I think I'll go with Io. I'm not expecting a whole lot out of this match. It's not going to be like super high flying.
Right.
Um, eh, it. I don't know. It honestly could be pick a side, flip a coin. I'll go with Io. I'll go with Io. I don't know what you think about that, but I'll say Io.
I I mean I was looking at this match and honestly like thinking about this, I think they don't know what they want to do with that women's title. And I mean she's been a world champion before. Um, I think they're hitting her against Io as a a good adversary, and I guess you could say. I think Io's going to end up winning this one, and Damage Control is going to end up interfering.
Oh yeah,
That's
that's a
just
given.
that's just my thought. I don't know where like I'm looking at the match and I'm thinking like okay, if Bianca wins, what direction do they go in that hasn't been played out already? And I I I don't know. I don't see Bianca ending up winning this one.
See what
I
the
think Io's.
I think maybe now this is maybe because
Yep.
Io Sky is not a powerhouse. Bianca Belair is. Now look
Yep.
who's still like waiting in the like when you look at the women's division as a whole, you've got Rhea Ripley sitting up there as the world champion. And
Yep.
then you've still got Charlotte Flair from time to time kicking around. Now you've got Nia Jax. Now I don't know if she's exclusive to Raw or SmackDown. I'm not 100% sure.
Right.
Um, I don't know. Like I think you're right. They don't know what they're doing because that's a one-on-one, and then the women's world heavyweight championship is like a five-way. So, I don't know. I think you're absolutely right. They don't know what to do with that women's championship right now because there's not a whole lot of focus on it because everyone loves the world heavyweight women's division, not the
Yep.
WWE women's division. And let's face it, there's more going on over there than there is with Io's title.
Yep.
So, yeah, I agree with you.
The next one that I've got, Cody versus Priest.
God, I don't, there aren't enough words in the English language to describe how little I give a fuck about this match. I'm just so sick of the whole Cody Rhodes thing, man. None of his last three feuds have made absolutely no sense going back to Brock Lesnar.
Yep.
This one with Damian Priest and the Judgment Day, okay, I get it, like the tag titles and all that stuff. I get it. But now Cody is continuing, he's back on the road and he's continuing that quest. Well, what the fuck does Damian Priest have to do with that quest? Like, why they keep coming out and surrounding him, and it's because I don't get home from work every night until 7:30. I always PVR Raw. I live on the West Coast, so Raw starts at 6 p.m. And anytime Cody comes out, I'll give him 30 seconds. And that's when he's talking. If he doesn't catch me in 30 seconds, it's skip, 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 skip. If Cody is wrestling, it's always skip, 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 skip. I don't get the whole Cody thing. Just fuck. Give the guy a belt and just good enough. Eat that, like
Right.
I don't care who wins this match. It's probably going to be Cody Rhodes. It probably will be. Just because for Damian Priest to win doesn't do anything with him being one half of the World Tag Team Champions.
Right.
It means more to Cody than it does to Priest. So
Right.
I'll go with Cody. And if the fans don't chant boring, I'll be shocked. Now,
Yeah.
prove me wrong.
I was thinking the same thing. Like the storyline that they're trying to go with Cody, like I understand, like they're trying to continue the story. They're trying to continue to ultimately finish the story,
Yeah.
as Cody wants to go on and say. But I mean, like I'm looking at this and I'm like, okay, so what's he going to prove going up against one half of the tag team championships?
Yeah.
Like that's nothing. That leads nothing to what his ultimate goal is going to be.
I mean, if you look at the big, like what they've set up, okay, yeah, they jumped Cody a couple of times and they beat him up. But again, the whole thing doesn't make sense why they're doing it. It just doesn't make any goddamn sense. It's a story.
Right.
It's throwing a story together. That's all it's doing.
Yeah.
On his pathway to whatever the fuck. Like.
And what is that going to be? Is it going to be Roman? Is it going to be?
Well, it can't.
Is it going to be? Is it going to be Seth?
It can't be Seth. It can't be Seth or Drew, or even if Priest cashes in. It can't be the World Heavyweight Championship because his father held that title. His father had the big gold. He had the 10 pounds of gold as well. So the only belt, and he kept going back to it, was in 1978, Madison Square Garden. His father held up that Worldwide Wrestling Federation Championship, but he never ever actually won it. That's why Cody wants the big one.
Yep.
Okay, I get that story. That totally makes sense. But Jesus Christ, and I understand there's got to be a few obstacles for him to get there. But it's like planning a flight from here to fucking New Jersey, we'll say. That's my story. That's my path. I'm going to New Jersey. So I'm booking my flight to go to New Jersey, but I've got 10 fucking different layovers on my way there. I just hope it happens soon, just so we can I mean, I hate to shit on Cody Rhodes because I know there's so many people that love him and stuff. And listen, I respect Cody. I've all the respect in the world for his father. And it's not his fault. This is what's being written to him, and he's going out and he's doing what he's told.
Yep.
But fuck. Just land the plane.
It gets tired. It's getting tired. The next one that I've got, Cena versus Solo. I saw this match and I'm like, I'm probably not going to watch this. I It has no interest to me whatsoever.
Excuse me,
Like
I'm just getting over a flu.
Cena's on a stretch of I don't know how many days that he's lost, and I won't be surprised if Solo just adds to that. Like I had
Yeah.
no interest in this match whatsoever. It doesn't have any interest in terms of the ranking of like the titles or anything like that. Um, I'm not anticipating any interference unless no, I'm not.
Oh, I guarantee
No,
you there's going to be interference. Yeah, that fucking Jimmy Uso can't keep his nose out of anything. He's running around like
true.
a fucking chihuahua with his dick cut off.
Which I'm surprised that Roman hasn't nipped it in the butt yet. Like
No.
when he came back on SmackDown like 2 weeks ago.
I'm on the
Like,
IRs. I'm injured. You're what? I got this. I can do this.
I mean, like Cena and Solo. I'm like that's as much of a filler match today as what you can think about. Like, I mean, maybe back in the day, like roll back about 10 years or so, like when Cena was relevant, um, it might mean something. But I mean, that doesn't mean anything to me at
No,
all.
I get it. I'm in the same boat. Um, Cena's there because of some strike that's going on right now with acting or
Yep.
whatever the hell. So I get it. He's always been a team player. He'll chip in, and he's still going to do his best. He's got the five moves of doom, but he's with Solo. Solo sucks too. Solo is better just like as a run-in guy and just
Yeah.
someone to keep your eye on. It's the match is not going to be good. It's not going to be a quick match. I think they'll give them 12 minutes and around there, but I think the final I don't know I couldn't say who's going to win. I don't know if Cena's going to get his 10,000th loss in a row or if he's actually going to break it. And it'd be like fucking. Do you remember Barry Horowitz, the guy who used to pat
Oh my
himself on the
God.
back, the
Yes.
jobber that
Yep.
lost every goddamn match?
Yep.
Cena was going on the way like he's a jobber now. So
Yep.
it's like I don't know if he's going to win. I honestly don't care who wins the match. I don't care who loses because, like you said, it doesn't mean anything. I just hope it's
Right.
entertaining. Like the whole card is aside from I have interest in the WWE Championship match. I have interest in the World Heavyweight Championship match and the women's the five way for the women's world tag team, the women's World Heavyweight Championship. But the
Right.
rest of the card is kind of it's like a SmackDown or not even SmackDown. SmackDown's interesting. It's like a Raw.
Right.
But that Cena. I just hope that Cena match is entertaining. That's all I want. Just entertain
Right.
me. Don't make me go do the laundry or something waiting for it to be over.
Speaking of the women's world heavyweight championship, you got Rhea, you got Raquel. Um, I can't remember the others that are in on that. I don't have that actually written down. Um, what's your take on that title? Is Rhea ending up winning that match? Does she retain?
I think she will. So there's Raquel. I'm trying to remember myself. There's Raquel, Rhea, Shayna Baszler is in it.
Yep.
Um, yeah, I'm gonna say that she's gonna retain that belt. She's not ready. Number one, and we talked about this a long time ago. She's not ready to leave Judgment Day yet. They need her in Judgment Day.
Mm-hmm.
And there's is Nia Jax in that, or is she not?
She is.
She is in that. I'm going to say I'm 90% sure, 95% sure she's going to retain that title just because Judgment Day still needs her and they need her as the figurehead as the world heavyweight champion. What do
Right.
you want to have? That fucking Dom as the North American champion as a figurehead? Jesus Christ, that's a bobblehead, not a fucking figurehead. But yeah, she'll I think she'll retain that match. I can't wait for just because Nia Jax. I want to see Nia and Raquel Rodriguez go at it because well, Nia's notorious for hurting people and being stiff with people.
Yep.
Raquel is notorious for being able to take a punch and saying, "Bitch, you fucked up."
Right.
Raquel has no problem giving a receipt back in front of what 60,000 people. She has no
Mm-hmm.
problem with that. But I don't think Rhea is going to be that involved in this match. I think Rhea is going to have a lot of time out on the outside and let everyone else kick the shit out of everyone, out of themselves. And then she'll
Right.
roll in and just kind of pick the bones of everyone that's left. But that match is going to be friggin' sweet. And I think at the end of this match, it's going to set up. I think she retains, and then they're gonna have to do something for a new number one contender, and I think that's gonna come down to Raquel Rodriguez and Nia Jax, and then I think this is the launching pad for Raquel Rodriguez. So that WWE World Heavyweight Championship between Reigns and I don't. Okay, it's going to be entertaining first. It's definitely going to be entertaining.
Yep.
It's going to get some time because it's for the belt. It's going to be the main event. I think he's going to come close. I think LA Knight is going to come damn close. You know, there's going to be interference in this match.
Yep.
Either Solo, probably Jimmy Uso, possibly both of them, but definitely Jimmy Uso. I think this is where Roman really gets pissed off at him. I think he's going to screw up royally. I think in the end, Roman is going to retain. LA Knight is not the guy to knock off the WWE champion for the last 3 years
No.
or whatever the fuck it is.
God, no.
He's not the guy. But
No.
it's going to be good. It's going to be entertaining. Now, with this whole setup and everything, now, remember a few weeks back when Roman Reigns was in the ring with John Cena? And John Cena
Yep.
said, "I'm not here to challenge you because I haven't earned it." But this guy
Yep.
has. I think John Cena is going to get involved in this match. And it wouldn't surprise me one bit if somehow John Cena gets thrown back into the championship picture. Now, John Cena, I could see being a guy to knock off Roman Reigns, even at his age. But then I'll be really, really pissed off because him and Ric Flair are tied for World Heavyweight Championships.
Mm-hmm.
I do not want to see John Cena be a 17-time world champion. And in the record books is John fucking Cena and number 2 is Ric Flair. I don't want to see that. But that being said, I think the whole wrestling world would be in shock. Honestly, nothing against Cena, but actually, yeah, fucking everything against Cena at this age. But yeah, the match will be good. I think Cena gets involved just because there's going to be outside interference, and he's the one that brought LA Knight down.
Yep.
Just like to kind of even the playing field a little bit. But yeah, Roman is definitely retaining. He's definitely retaining that title, but it's going to be good. And I have a feeling there's going to be some kind of controversy in it. The LA Knight's going to wind up like he should have won the title, but the referee was down or didn't see something. There'll be some kind of bullshit because something like that hasn't happened in a Roman Reigns match since Jay was still in the bloodline.
Right.
So, yeah, Roman retains. There's no doubt about that. It'll be a good long match. I think they're going to get time. They'll get lots of time, maybe 20 minutes. And it'll be fun. I think it's going to be a fun, entertaining match. Roman will get, but I think Roman, like I said before, he's finally going to get fucking pissed off at Jimmy and tell him to shape up or ship the fuck out.
Yeah. That's my thought on it too. Like, I mean, like Jimmy's been he's been throwing himself too much forward. Like on at least on all the televised shows, and it's just like, what are you doing? What are you doing? He's like, I'm running the play, running the play.
Yeah,
Like
run the
it's
play. Who's audible? Audible.
yeah, like it's I've kind of been waiting for Roman to address that. Like ever since Jimmy came back, and it's like, okay, so what are we going to do with him? Because he originally wanted out of the bloodline, and then Jay was like, like screw the bloodline, and then they were like, okay, so we're going to just throw or we're going to throw Jay back into or Jimmy back into the bloodline. Um, yeah, like it's run its course. Um, and I think Roman's just going to basically say like enough is enough. I think that's
But do you,
basically
like I said, I think he's going to get pissed off at him. Now, maybe not tomorrow, but it could be on like next Friday on SmackDown. Jimmy's going to do something to piss him off. He's going to fuck up something.
oh
And
yeah,
but I don't think Roman would kick him out of the bloodline. He's just going to like make him eat a shit sandwich for a long time and like force him out. Like Jimmy will be the one to say fuck you, Oos.
right,
Like, and then but then who does he have left? He's got Solo. And that's it. So
right.
would he go crawling back to Jimmy or Jay? I mean, who, by the way, is actually turned into one hell of a singles. I like watching. I've liked watching Jay Uso even before he left the bloodline. Before I thought he was just that little chihuahua that was always pissed off, and every time someone walked by and going, "Nyang, nyang, nyang, nyang," you know. But the last while, even before he left the bloodline, I've really, really gotten into Jey Uso.
Right,
And but if Jimmy got kicked out or pissed off, I shouldn't say kicked out because he's not going to get kicked out. Roman's not going to deplete his tribe. But I don't know. Jimmy's going to fuck something up. Remember that episode of the Trailer Park Boys we watched, and Ricky had the fireworks, and they were just going to leave, and Bubbles said, "Julian, you can't let him blow himself up. He's going to fucking blow himself up." It's going to be something like that. Jimmy's going to do something to blow himself up. And yeah, but he won't get kicked out, but he'll eat a shit sandwich. The the Intercontinental title is not being defended at this pay-per-view?
as far as I know, it's not, which I'm actually surprised.
Yeah, no Intercontinental title match.
Wow.
Which, well, whatever. No one's ready for Gunther anyway. So the last match on the card, Sami Zayn and JD McDonough. Every time I see this dude, he reminds me of a little person, like a midget. It's like his shoulders are too narrow, his neck is too big, and his head is too big. And there's something about his body that's totally misfucking proportioned. Like I, I just laugh every time I see him. Sami Zayn is going to wipe the floor with him. I don't think there'll be any interference. This is just going to be I'm not going to say a squash match, but it's, I won't be surprised if this is the first match on the card. Like, poor Sammy. Like, what the fuck? You've gone from being like fighting with you. You've gone from being in the bloodline to being in the World Heavyweight Championship picture to being the World Tag Team Champions, and now you're fighting a little person. Like, I understand he's trying to get in to the Judgment Day, and like he's eating a shit sandwich, but he's right out of NXT, so I get it. Out of NXT a few months, but this is one match that, like, honestly, I know Sammy's gonna go over, but I'd love to see McDonough go over, just to sit
Right.
back and laugh and say it was like when Razor Ramon lost on Monday Night Raw years ago to the 1-2-3 Kid, and everyone was like,
Yeah.
"What the fuck? Oh my god!" That's I'd be sitting back laughing. He lost to a little person, like
I saw this match and I was like, okay, so this is going to be filler because JD McDonough is nothing but a Funko Pop, like
yes,
like a bobblehead.
yeah,
That's all he is. And Sammy is yeah, it's going to be about a 10 maybe 15-minute match, but Sammy's going to end up winning this one. JD's trying to earn his stripes with the Judgment Day to try to get, to get one foot in at least. Um, yeah, Sammy's winning this one.
yeah.
I don't.
I
I saw JD's last match, and I was like, yeah, he's a jobber. Like
he's
Sam, it
like, oh my god, like it's like I understand, like at least he doesn't act like a tool. Like he acts like he's serious and he's really into this and he's trying to make the Judgment Day.
Yep.
He's not like a bro, like he's not like that. But yeah, he has. You know what? If he goes in the Judgment Day, I give it 2 months and the Judgment Day is going to break up.
Right.
They don't need JD McDonough. They just don't like that. Him being with the Judgment Day makes about as much sense as Paul Roma being in the Four Horsemen. Honestly, look at the Four Horsemen years ago. We'll break off this for a second. You got Flair, Anderson, Barry Windham, Tully Blanchard, Lex Luger. You think they're gonna go dot 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 dot? Paul fucking Roma. That was the big. I don't know whose idea that was back in the day, but they should have been fucking fired for that one. Pretty Paul Roma. Fuck. That's what JD McDonough being in the Judgment Day would be. Is Paul Roma being in the Four Horsemen. Fuck. Now, and okay, so we've covered the card. Now, the rumors that have been flying since he got fired about CM Punk.
Yep.
Survivor Series is next month.
Yep. Well, this month.
In this month, yes, in Chicago.
Yep.
He was asked point blank, "Are you going to be at Survivor Series?" His answer was, "Well, no, I don't think so because I'm pretty sure the show is sold out, so I probably won't be there." So no one has confirmed or denied that he has signed a contract with WWE.
Yep.
No one is saying yay or nay. I say in Chicago, my God, of course he's going to show up. Of course he's re-signed with WWE. My take. What do you think?
I won't be surprised. Um, I know him and Hunter didn't really have the best of relationships when he was last with WWE.
Oh, fucking
Um,
despised each other.
oh my God. Um, I won't be surprised if he shows up. And I think this is probably going to be the last straw, like in terms of like mainstream wrestling
Oh,
that
absolutely. Well, number one, he's not a spring chicken.
no,
Number two, he's burnt just about every bridge he's crossed.
absolutely.
Ring of Honor, from what I've read, Now, I can't say with all certainty whether this is true or not, but I thought I read that he had showed up or was supposed to show up at Ring of Honor, just like as an appearance or whatever. And Ring of Honor supposedly offered him a contract, which I find hard to believe because Tony Khan owns Ring of Honor. Tony Khan bought Ring of Honor. That's why you always see
Okay.
the Ring of Honor belts on AEW.
Right.
Supposedly now, as the story goes, Punk turned down the contract. But I'm like, well, why the fuck? If he got fired from AEW, why the hell would he go to why would he go to ROH? That doesn't make any sense. So I kind of blew those rumors off because I just thought it was that rumors and bullshit. But
Right.
he's still denying, and this was just a couple of weeks last week, maybe the week before, that he was asked if he was going to be at Survivor Series, and he said, no, the show is sold out, so I probably won't be there. But what is he going to say? Oh, yeah, I signed a WWE contract and just fucking ruin it. I think he'd be fired on the spot again for doing that. But
Right.
if he has re-signed and he is going to show up at Survivor Series, this is the best kept secret since Lex Luger showing up on the first Nitro.
I'd say.
And
I'd say.
in this day and age, that's damn hard to do.
Oh yeah. Um, I mean, I've seen some stuff on social that he was going to be showing up at Survivor Series. Um, I've also seen some stuff um, that Randy was going to be showing up as well. That Randy
At
Orton
Survivor
is
Series?
coming up at Survivor Series.
Oh, okay.
That it's being kept very close, like very quiet. Like they're not lining up any matches or anything like that.
Well, he was
But
caught
he's going to
going
be.
into the performance center about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and the fans were all
He
cheered,
was.
like, and he was looking at the fans with his finger over his lips, like going shh.
Yep.
Which I thought was, oh, that's typical Randy Orton, but
So I mean, we could see the return of the both of them. Um, I think the Punk return would be a little bit more over the top than Randy
I
coming
think
back.
so. I think so.
Be- just because like everybody's like, there's no way that he's going to be re-signing with WWE. Like after what he went through with them before the firing of AEW, and then like WWE is just going to welcome him back. Like if that is true, then like that's going to be huge. I
Yeah.
think that's going to overshadow. I think that's going to overshadow Randy Orton coming back, but I won't be surprised if we see both of them coming back.
If he comes back, Punk, do you see him eventually being back in the WWE title picture, like up there with Roman Reigns? Or would he be around like Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins in that World Heavyweight Championship?
Um,
Because when he's in AEW, I mean, he's not just going to wear a TNT television championship or a TNT
right,
championship. Him in the
right,
AEW World Championship had to happen because it's let's face it, AEW is a good product, but it's a smaller company.
right.
But do you see him up with Roman Reigns and fighting for the world championship if Reigns is still champion at the time, or is he around Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre in the world championship?
I think he's around Seth.
Yeah, I agree
I,
with you. Which I think them two would have a wicked friggin' match.
oh yeah,
That would be amazing. Punk now, he's probably around 220 pounds and around there, maybe 225. Seth Rollins is probably around 235 and around there. But he's just not forget the weight class. He's just not up around that main event where he was back when he left in 2013 or 14, whenever it was that he walked out or got fired or whatever the fuck.
right.
He's just not there anymore. And you know what? This is his I think he's coming in here and with Vince not the majority. Vince isn't the big man anymore. It's up to this new corporation. Well, I'll just say UFC. I think he's got to kind of toe a line. Or maybe
Mm-hmm.
he'll be able to get away with a little bit more because WWE has even less pull. Before it
Right.
was all Vince McMahon in 2013, 2014. Now it's not so much anymore. McMahon still has an input. Triple H still has an input, but they're not the big bosses anymore. So it's going to be interesting to see now if he even shows up, if he resigns. This is all hypothetical.
Right.
I think personally he shows up at Survivor Series. Fuck, it's in Chicago. What better way to make a return?
Right.
You know, but I don't think he's not going to be involved in a match. I think if he does come back, it's just going to be like a run in, or he's in the crowd and he jumps at the rail and he runs in to help Joe Blow pull the dildo out of his ass. But he's not going to be involved. They're not going to announce his return beforehand. There's no way. It'll be a
No.
surprise. They'll want a big pop, blow the roof off the joint, and they'll probably have something already set up for him for the next pay-per-view,
Right.
whatever December's pay-per-view would be, and then maybe throw his hat in the Royal Rumble, because I can't see having a serious enough feud to have a singles match at the Royal Rumble. Maybe put him in the Royal Rumble and have like a little issue with somebody, with a Seth Rollins or whoever, and get screwed out of the Royal Rumble, and then move on from there and just start building it. But we'll see. This is all hearsay right now. Personally, he's
Right.
back at Survivor Series. That's what I think. And that's our thoughts, guys. That's our thoughts on the pay-per-view for tomorrow, Crown Jewel, and our thoughts on CM Punk. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. And listen, we'll be back at you before you know it. And enjoy the pay-per-view Crown Jewel tomorrow. Till next time, see you again, folks. Thanks for listening.